Entering the Pat Mayo Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
To the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog, John Deere Classic. Picks, bets, preview, one and done, plus a recap of everything that happened in golf over the weekend. Probably not everything, mainly, Jeff, the Rocket Classic.
I'm in this new world. We're live. I'm just trying to retweet the tweet, and everything just happens way too fast. But my mic and my audio work, so that's a benefit. But I'm just sending out the tweet. So you retweet it for us too, people. Push it.
Okay. Smash the like, sub to the channel, and in the comment section, give me your winner of the John Deere Classic to get into a draw for a free PXG driver given away the day after the conclusion of the Open Championship. So plenty of time to do that. You can do the same thing on the audio version of the show on Apple and Spotify. Leave the 5-star review, give me your winner in there, and boom, you're in that draw 3 times if you really want to be. Did you have much financial investment in the playoff of the Rocket Mortgage? Because I did, and it did not go my way.
I bet some live Gray Sermon Saturday on a stale line at like 25-1. That's it. Not enough because I'm limited pretty hard there, but that was my interest. That's my only interest. For Bjornsson, every day I could find like 2 or 3 strokes, but I think anyone who didn't win, who thought they should win, specifically Gracerman, specifically Kirk, could easily make the case in their head where their guy should have won the tournament. Obviously Gracerman, but I'm still rattled about like the 4-footers all week that Thor Bjornsson missed, truthfully.
Well, he kind of brought it on himself on Sunday because he took the lead early. And all of a sudden, he must have saw his name at the top of the leaderboard because everything started coming up short, like really short, like 4 feet short, 4.5 feet. And then he would just miss that putt.
Yeah, he didn't lag it close enough. He didn't make the putt, everything. You're right. The second he got to the top, he bogeyed 8 and 9. And then he got some back, but then he missed a 3-footer for par on the back 9. So just 3 ugly bogeys, but hey, it was, I watched more than I thought. I was entertained. Obviously people watching this were probably into it, like golf enough. The PGA Tour will tell you they don't have to watch. You don't have to watch. We run a lot of events, but if you feel like tuning in, it's Sunday at dinner time, we might give you something fun. And that's what we got.
This tournament has actually provided some good Sunday finishes, despite the course being kind of terrible, and they're ripping it up and redesigning it for next year. But I don't mind because we get into this conversation. It's like, oh my God, it's a birdie fest. It's such an easy course. That's okay. Not every course needs to be the US Open. Sometimes to see the juxtaposition of the easy course versus the hard course gives you an appreciation for it. The only thing that I want from these birdie fests is let guys be able to score on like the final 4 holes to create a horse race. And that's what we got.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue there's a line and we still get too much easy golf, but yeah, I mean, it's part of the ecosystem, you know, that these sorts of events. And this time of year, I'm not complaining. There's zero complaining coming out of me for that sort of field, for that sort of event. I thought it delivered. And in some ways, Pat, it feels like they've gotten really lucky with the like Goober Fields, Mexico playoff, you know, whether you like them or not, like whether you know the players or not, a playoff in golf, guys chasing a first win. It's always like hyper endearing. You know, I feel like the Cognizant was a fun finish as well. So a lot of like the worst fields of the year this year, like you say, the magic is not for sale.
4 of the past 5 years, the first 2 at this course were blowouts. Nate Lashley, who you couldn't even bet on that year because he got in as a Monday Q or he replaced someone in the field, ended up winning by 6 strokes. And then Bryson went out as the favorite and dominated. But since we got that awesome Cam Davis finish where he ended up beating Merritt and Neiman in the playoff because he ended up holing out on the 17th hole from the bunker for eagle to get in. Then Neiman ended up just punching it just directly through the 18th green in the playoff, and that was the end of him. Finau wins by 5. That was no fun, but Ricky 3-man playoff. Cam Davis last year when Akshay ended up with a 3-putt and beating 4 other guys 1 stroke back. And this year, I thought the conclusion, I watched more of this final round than I'm trying to think.
We had a full pre-tournament bet in the final group. That
I did. I watched every Grazerman shot, and I picked up Thorbjornsen live before round 4 at 18-1. It's like, yeah, give me something else to sweat. I was feeling very good for a while. Grazerman had 3 chances to end it, and he couldn't do it. For the guy who I think led in putting for the week, which sucks.
And we saw miss 6 and 4-foot birdies on the front 9.
8 was
as well.
8 was terrible.
Oh. 8 was, is that the one where he drove it up the green?
Yeah, he was just in front of the green. He pitched it to 4 feet and missed the putt.
Yeah, that stings. And Aldrich, he got the win, but we saw his yips. That's not a fun course to lead at. Like last week, I didn't think leading at the Travelers was fun either for a guy who'd never won before, when there's just so many birdies out there that like you sort of have to keep the pedal on. And I don't know, Aldrich got up, but he battled back. He showed resilience, and he had a couple putts right in the jaws of it that could have ended it a couple times on the back. Obviously, got exposed on another par 3 chip late in the round that sort of made it an event again, but led to some fun.
His up and down in the playoff on the par 3, the one where Kirk took himself out of it with his miss short putt. I gotta ask, does it appear to you like Chris Kirk swings at 20% speed?
Incredible.
Like to watch him versus Grazerman and Potgieter, who were just absolutely mashing it. Every time he hit the ball, I thought it was a practice swing.
His tempo is like my dad and their friends. Like but it's incredible. I should probably slow down a bit because I've gotten lost. But yeah, I agree. It's pretty slow. It was I don't know why. I watched a bit of Europe early in the morning. Eugenio and the young Frenchman gagged, and then an elder statesman Frenchman came in and took it.
Who won?
Sadler. It was his like 200th ever start.
He's the new Dick Bland.
Yeah, I guess.
Get him on live.
He played lovely, and it was also lovely to see the young Frenchman, this like Marty Corvea.
Marty Cordova. I think he played for the Orioles like 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely a ball player. How he lost, but you could see the respect he had for this older French guy. It was all French at the top, and Eugenio. And then Liv was in a 4-man playoff simultaneously to the Rocket in a 3-man playoff.
Well, I saw that the women's team event was coming down the stretch because I didn't watch it, but I saw a bunch of people tweeting about it that, you think that they would try to figure this out because the U.S. Senior Open happened too, that Patty won. And they figured it out by saying, hey, let's go 3 hours early so we don't have to compete with the PGA Tour playoff. The women's were like, nah, we'll go head to head, see how this works out for us.
Yeah, but that was like the week. I don't know. That was the week after a major. The women are always competing with the PGA Tour.
Why?
I've said this many times. The golf ecosystem is exhausting. And like even the lowest run, like we would argue the Rocket Mortgage, no disrespect, fair and balanced, it is on the like lowest tier of regular season PGA events, right? It's like with Mexico and probably this week. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Honda. Anytime the men are playing, the PGA Tour is playing, like it doesn't matter what else is happening. Like it just, so I'd say the problem is the PGA plays too much. But again, you're the PGA. What are you going to do? You're like not going to play an event where someone like Rocket Mortgage wants to be a title sponsor, or you've got them being a title sponsor that's going to air on CBS on the weekend. So it's like, there's no way they are like, in theory, they should run less events, but how could they? Like, why would they?
Cust tried his best to get us the win. He put his full faith behind Potgieter. when Potgieter ended up taking the lead. And Byron, I mean, did you check out the chat that we all have together and Byron was losing it?
Yeah. You never like when Cust is on your guy. But you see what Cust said this morning?
That he's going to win Portrush now?
He thinks Potgieter will be well suited for Portrush. Like as if the tight lie, he could drive it to the green and still have to chip a tight lie. What are we talking about? No, I mean, maybe, the ceiling is incredible. I was getting annoyed with the discourse about him as he was like gagging it. Like people are so fucking obnoxious.
More
20-year-old. Like, I'm sorry, you didn't win in Mexico. A guy hit a tree. You didn't win at the Tory. Like, I don't even understand how people can like get the thoughts in their head about a 20-year-old. It like reminds me of like Ludwig from a year ago. Like, how on earth are you saying these things? Who gives a fuck what he does on Saturday?
Now he's a winner. 20-year-old winner. Joins, what was it, Rory, Sevi, Tom Kim, and Neiman as winners below 21 years old internationally.
Day or Scott never did that,
I don't think so, no. Either they weren't on the list, so I'm guessing that the answer is no.
Impressive. And like that short game stuff, we saw DJ take till he was 30 to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not everyone is going to be, Brooks had to go to Europe. It wasn't like he was a heralded prospect like this kid, but not everyone has like the refined ability to chip at such a young age. That's the thing that comes last for the most part. So I'm sure he's going to like work his ass off on it. And when he nails that down, like, holy shit, it's going to contend in almost everything.
Despite me not being on it, this is the first Potgieter final group of the year that I have not been on. And I really should have been, because all week I talked about, and throughout the course of the season, the commonality between the 5 separate tournaments where this specific type of player can do well. And I got sucked in by some of the bigger names. Obviously, I had Min Woo, I had Davis Thompson, I had Wyndham Clark, and I had Grazerman, all in that like 40 to 50 range, because Torrey Pines, Mexico, Houston, CJ Cup at the Bunny Ranch in this one, I'll allow for you just to kind of spray the ball wherever you want. As long as you hit it a mile, the course is just going to be way easier. Then you have your Chris Kirks who end up coming in, but look at everyone else inside the top 5. Thorbjornsen, Knapp, Potgieter, and Grazerman. If I search by ball speed, I'm guessing that those guys were probably inside the top 20, all of them, probably inside the top 10. When we look at distance, that's the way that it's going to be. And then you have someone like Kirk who just played great the entire time. It's going to happen. It's how Campbell beats Potgieter in Mexico, who's like the shortest guy on tour. He just hit his irons and made all of his putts. It happens. But if you're trying to go with consistency, I knew it too, just going into the final day, because someone was like, yeah, I've had Potgieter 3 times now in final groups. He just gags every single time. It's like, well, I don't have him this time, so he's probably going to win. And that's where it was at. I probably should have hedged after Kirk got eliminated from the playoff, but I'm really team no hedge in these playoffs.
I felt dumb for not having Potgieter, but I'd never bet him. I don't mean like I don't want to bet him or I hadn't bet him. I felt stupid in those weeks for not betting him, like when he was in the playoff in Mexico. It's like, how did I not bet this guy? A lot of our smart friends are on him, both of the D-Gens, obviously, South African captain on the network. But had I rode him in the other events, I'd have been devastated to have not bet him this week on this golf course. I bet my own big hitting losers, Thor, Ricky Castillo. Like, I don't know. I just went with other guys. That's my own fault, but I just feel like I keep swimming around the leaderboards and come up empty, and it's been a drought now for me.
Yeah, I haven't hit a winner.
But like Burns, Hatton, Hovland, Thor, like I'm not far, but you're so far, like you're so close, but you're still so far. Like I didn't win, so
I've had 10 guys in final groups so far this year. I'm 1 for 10.
Yeah, the final group. Whatever.
And like some of those guys were all I needed was the one triple digit guy to come through, and it's all glorious. But now, just nothing. And at least Grazerman got himself to a playoff. I give him that respect, because usually I have these guys in the final group, and 4 holes later they're out of it.
Like, props to all the Potgieter tickets. I even saw, like, as early as late Wednesday night, it was still 120 to 1 at like most shops. But it's almost like most people who bet it, it was just like an auto bet. And that's why I feel stupid, like a little dumb. Like the guys who, like, it was no thought. It was all the reasons you said. He can get away with spraying it. He's like, his ceiling is going to be everything soon. If you were on him before, it's almost like, how did you not? I don't know. Congrats to everyone who was on him. After the fact, it seems so easy. Like, but hey, that's golf. That's stupid. Now I got to bet some John Deere. Ugh.
Yeah, the board is not super appealing at John Deere. Taking the early look at it. Let's talk about Live, though. Unless there's anything else that you want. We do this Ryder Cup discussion every single week, so I think it's probably time that we do talk about Patrick Reed a little bit, as Cust has proclaimed that he has to be on the team now because he won his first Live event ever. That's kind of shocking that this is his first Live win.
I was shocked about that. When I heard them say that, that kind of surprised me, that he'd never won an individual event. And I was out here making fun of Thomas Peters and all these other guys. Like, holy shit. I'm hard Patrick Reed. I get, like, he wasn't even invited to the dinner at the PGA Championship, which said a lot. Because there are a lot of guys at that dinner that you're like, they're not making the team. But as we know how those like mid-season dinners, be it at the Players, or I guess now it's at the PGA because you want the Live guys that'll be a part of it. They didn't even include him in that. So that was a telltale sign to me that he is dead to them. I disagree with that assessment, because he shouldn't be. But to the entire operation, the power structure, even this new power structure, he is dead to have not been invited to what was like a 25-person dinner.
He is the favorite in Germany this week.
Go. My stance on this Ryder Cup is very clear. If they bring Patrick Reed, I'm not saying I'm going to come off my stance, but we are going to like start reversing. We are going to put the big rig in reverse. Yeah. I'm about it. Was a guy like 8-3-3 in Ryder Cup anything?
Sure, but he gets the Live win, so he finally gets a win. But what has he done over the past 3 years to think that he should be included in this conversation?
He should have been at the dinner.
Okay, whatever.
Well, that's just like to show. You could say that's like a nothing burger. That kind of shows he has no chance.
He has to play his way onto the team. And winning in Germany this week doesn't really do him much. It helps. But if he no-shows the Open and doesn't basically win at Portrush, he's not on the team.
Yeah, he's held to a totally different standard.
But that's what you get when you're an asshole and no one likes you.
I agree. I accept that he's dead to them. And I agree. Winning Germany, not going to mean much. Just like on the other side of it, Pat, I am starting to get to the point where I'm almost ready to call Matty Fitz like a lock.
Yeah, well, if he keeps playing like this and because we're seeing the game come back, then yeah, I'm with you. I think he'll be on the team too.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to win anything, but my point being is like Harry Hall winning the Wyndham.
No.
I don't think that's going to be enough to knock off Fitzpatrick striking it lovely. That's just so, like, maybe the Wyndham was the wrong, like this week or something. Like, yeah. And so every Live event, comes with a grain of salt. Winning in Germany, Pete Reed would have to go unconscious. And not only that, he also would have to perform at the Open. He can't just go unconscious around the Open. He has to perform at the Open. He can't go to Indianapolis in August and Live I don't think it'll do enough. But what if he's out playing Bryson for the next 2 months?
Well, Bryson's on the team though.
Yes. My point being is it is so difficult to understand. Like, I am still year 4, year 5 in. We have the same conversation. I can respect winning on live. Like, there are enough good players on live in the same way. I mean, if the Century field was half the size, wouldn't like throw flowers at it, but I'd be like, okay, you beat enough good players this week. Congratulations. That means something. I still can't quantify what 5th place on live means. I still don't know how to quantify that. And the hardos can be like, well, what does 5th place at the Rocket mean?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably nothing. So I still don't know how to quantify that. And holy shit, we're all the way into the show. We still haven't spoken about the biggest story in golf. I believe Jon Rahm's T10 streak ended yesterday.
Oh, no.
I believe he finished 11th.
Oh, what a loser.
And that guy...
Get him off the Ryder Cup team.
I saw a clip yesterday of him like losing his shit on the greens. He's 8 strokes off the lead. He's making $400 million. Angry, like you would think, just playing in a lighthearted atmosphere, like somewhere an hour, like 2 hours earlier in his round, he accepted he's not winning the tournament and can just like go out and entertain. No, he is still. I am worried a little bit when Jon Rahm's kids like spill a drink.
No, it's different. As someone who is a hothead and has a bad temper himself, it's different when you're competing in something versus dealing with your kids.
Somebody like when you get mad at like what appears to be nothing, then that's a little
yeah, but you're doing it in the heat of competition.
Yeah, I guess chasing those team points to the end, right?
But you're still playing golf. Like I'm playing golf for nothing. I get pissed when I play golf. I'm not good. I can't lose my mind. So if you're really good and things aren't going your way and you're a hothead, I can see how that happens.
Yeah. There's nothing more like, oh my God, this guy who shoots 88 can't believe he made a mistake on the golf course.
Yeah, I can't believe I duffed that chip.
Please miss me with that. Oh, like is above. You're so good. You're above doing that. Miss me. But
there's a whole part of being pissed at yourself.
I don't know what else
when it comes at it.
What else?
But there was a lot. There was a lot of tempers.
I lost. Oh shoot! I guess I turned my headphones on.
Yeah, you're just gonna keep talking over me. Well, that's fine.
I didn't know. I guess I hit a button on my headphones and they turned on. I wasn't even using them, but now I am.
Either way, there was a bunch of hot-headedness on live. You had Rahm. Peters went into the crowd to deal with a fan who was harassing Patrick Reed. Brooks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were giving Reed shit. Peters went outside of the ropes and went and confronted the guy. There's video of that. And then Brooks. Brooks. Did you see what Brooks did?
He withdrew to not play because 100 degrees. What did he do?
Well, he also, we remember when all the people gave Rory shit for smashing the tee box thing?
I saw that. Yeah.
Basically, Brooks took a Happy Gilmore swing into it and hit it into people. And then he withdrew.
Some of this behavior is abhorrent. Yet entertaining. That's why I love Hatton. Like, that's why Hatton is like truly the best because like, I don't know. He's like, I guess he's the example of like angry. Like he like literally contains it to the golf course.
Yeah. He seems like the world's nicest guy outside of the ropes.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I don't see Hatton like as crazy as this sounds. Like, I don't know if Hatton's like kid spilt. I don't know that he would spaz. So you're right. That's probably an unfair take on Rahm. But I don't know, man. These golfers losing their minds. And some fans are the biggest pieces of shit. So I'm sure whatever that fan said, like, was 10 degrees over the line. It wasn't just like you suck or like, did you find that watch in the locker? Like, it must have been egregious. Like that shit in baseball, some guy heckled some dude about a dead mom. Like what on earth? What planet are we on?
People, because of the internet, get a bit too comfortable. They forget that real life exists.
I guess. Oh, there was another great confrontation this week. Did you see Padraig going at it with Roger Maltby?
I did. And Patty won. Actually, there's a comment in the chat going on right now. If Patty wins the Open Championship, is he on the team? The answer is yes. If any European wins the Open Championship, they're on the team. They'll be in on points.
We're talking about Patty making the Ryder Cup now?
Yeah,
that's is that what that just went to?
So someone brought that up. He's not. If he wins the Open, yes, he will be on the team. If he does anything besides win the Open, he will not be on the team. If Jesper Svensson wins the Open, he'll be on the team.
I might have missed maybe some like key facts, but I thought Harrington was totally out of line.
I didn't really care enough about it. I just saw them arguing.
So, Maltby's, he's an older guy, and I guess he was walking with TV for the group, and he was up in a position, and Padraig was upset that Maltby wasn't helping the search for his ball.
Was it a pace of play thing, or was it just a you need?
No, it was like it is a known thing. It's like an unwritten rule amongst like the TV people that if there is like that 3-minute search for the ball, that like you help them search. Not even because you have proprietary info. Obviously, like if the TV people in the truck are in his ear being like, our camera has it in a certain area, obviously that information gets relayed, but it's an expectation that you are in there assisting with the search. And apparently Patty was mad that Maltby wasn't getting in there.
The senior tour needs something. This was something.
I'll be honest. Listen, we are getting some normal for Canada for even hotter temperatures. I know it's the summer. My friends know, like unless I got something to do or a busy weekend or it's like insanely hot, I'm going to walk. But that being said, even though I'm walking, Pat, I'm kind of like, I'm on my own rules. Not my own rules, but like I need to conserve every step. If I need to make it through 16 and 18, I don't have the steps in me to help you from the find your ball. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but you're not following the other guy around.
No, I know, but then it turned into like this golf etiquette thing. I need to conserve all my steps to maintain my energy because I'm walking. And I'm not coming over there right now. I'm just not.
Okay.
That feels like
etiquette? It just feels like no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I rarely ever help anyone. I don't expect anyone to help me find my ball on the course. And, I'm privileged Pat over here. If I put it in the woods, like, I don't really care to go in. Like, listen, if I find it, it's unplayable anyway. So unless it's sitting right there, there's ticks around. I want to go in the fucking woods, get scraped up. I'll drop here. It's fine. I'll take my stroke. We'll move on.
Piece of play. Let's go. Let's go.
I have enough balls in my bag. I'm not going to run out. It's fine. But I have a friend who will find a Pro V and be like, oh my God, that's a Pro V. I got to go find it. It's like, it's not even your fucking Pro V to begin with. You found it. Like, it's not the end of the world if you lose the nicer ball that someone else had lost and just given up on.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I got some friends, come play at my court. Yeah. There's some places you can find a lot of Pro Vs if you're up for it. I sure as hell ain't going in there. But,
same as my course. There's a spot where I know there's probably buckets of high-end balls. No one wants to go in there.
Yeah, I don't. But sometimes I see, like in the twilight round, sometimes I see people like in there. Like they won't be in there like on a weekend or a Friday night, but like on like a Tuesday night, like they're going in there. They're hunting. Are we ready to move on?
Unless there's anything else, should we talk more about Potgieter? Just like, where do you see him, I guess, going forward? Like, what type of player is he? Is he a player that is going to show up at certain venues and be an absolute nothing burger at other ones? Is he sort of the good version of Cam Champ?
So I don't have an answer because ask me this in 3 years. Like, he is 20 years old. He has shown a high ceiling. He won big as an amateur. He won young on Corn Ferry. He's won young on the PGA Tour. Right now, if you're asking me, no, he's everything seems possible, but there are flaws. But it's not like he's got the institutional American college background that has been hyper successful for a lot of guys in our podcasting era. Like, they come out there ready to win. He might be behind the 8 ball a little in some ways, but he's been winning. So, no, super high ceiling. I'm not going to lie. I never looked at Cam Champ and was like, this guy's going to contend in big events.
No, but you knew that there was a style of course where he could win because he had that skill set. He's won 3 times.
Yes. And there's a lot of those on the PGA Tour.
No, but Champ has that weird mix that you don't see often of elite off the tee and can be an elite putter, more so than not. And you just need him not to chip and iron himself out of tournaments. That's a really weird skill set. Most of the skill set that we see is Stephen Fisk or Kevin Roy. Luke List was the ultimate example of this. These guys that are mavens off the tee, good tee to green, but simply cannot putt. Potgieter can putt.
Yeah. He can putt. And like you saw, it wasn't even the day he got going, but I guess it would have even been on Saturday where he got separation, not the crazy first round. Just making everything. He's got an ability to go lights out in that 8 to 15 foot range. It's maybe it's hyperbolic. I don't even care to answer the question, but the guy's got 2 years before I even judge him. I mean that. The equity he's got as a 20-year-old, right? Without, again, the coach, the American college pathway, just go. This is his developmental years, and he's now winning. So
it's a lot like Neiman in a weird way.
Yeah, I don't even think Neiman won this quick.
Now he did. He was on that list of players who won under the age of 21.
Yeah, that was the Greenbrier in the swing season. I mean,
is this any different than the Greenbrier in the swing season?
I was going to follow up, but I was just thinking aloud where my brain took me. The ceiling is everything. This is not an important statement, but seems like he's going to be a staple on international President's Cups. Let's go.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. But do you think that he is because we did this with Tom Kim when Tom Kim won twice as a 20-year-old. Now we're seeing, do you think Tom Kim has the rebound comes back up, or did he just punch above his weight for a year and a half and the guy that we're seeing now is more who he is?
I don't know, man. Golf is so hard. Golf is so cruel. The whole list of them. Someone showed the FedEx Cup point lists from today. I saw Fitz was in 59, but the numbers on Thagala and Home, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I mean, this is the most pathetic thing to interject because, I'm bad and I don't practice, but I was on a run of playing so lovely, striping it so well. I had one bad round where I hoselled a couple 6 irons and now I'm just in shambles. I got no
I played my worst. I bought that new driver and the one that I had used at your club. I think the specs are just something's different with it, and I can't hit it. And I shot my worst round of the year last round, and I lost 8 balls. 8. I went 5 rounds without losing a ball, and I don't know what I'm doing with this driver in my hand.
I guess golf is just such a relatable game, but even at that level, you could see how quickly the confidence just stops. It literally takes one horrible swing and the feels are gone, the confidence is gone, and you watch enough PGA Tour golf, you watch it happen to these guys. and getting it back in round is not easy for them.
But sometimes it does take the one. Like you said, the one bad stroke can just shatter your entire confidence in round. It does work the other way too sometimes, where you're like, oh, that's how I'm supposed to hit it. Right. I wasn't doing this one thing that I always do, and I don't know why I wasn't doing it, but now it's back, and now I can ball strike again.
Oh, yeah. So we've gone long enough here. I don't really have something in passion to say other than, if things he just sometimes can prove my points. I'll make this shorter. People were coming to me, Pat, to say you were gaslighting me a month ago about Morikawa. And I'm like, I don't know. But there. That was a really weird way of introing this.
Oh, I forgot.
I love that he just put himself. I love what he's doing. I'm enjoying it a lot.
So now you're on Team Morikawa.
No, I just love that he can't figure it out and he's dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, so some people not the greatest socially, if you haven't realized, especially coddled professional golfers. Not ever.
Yeah.
Look how much shit Rory gets for trying to be honest with people. That now he just doesn't want to talk to anyone anymore because he's fucking over it. Morikawa is sort of the inverse of that.
Yep. I just loved. It wasn't even so much the stuff with the media. To find out after like 3 weeks he's out with the caddy.
That actually makes sense to me though. Because, I mean, with a caddy, you would need to gel with them. You're putting someone new on the bag. You don't really know them. That it's probably better to do that now and try to find the guy that you want. Although the Morikawa thing that came out this week, I was actually on his side with that. He seemed like a very reasonable person.
What was the thing?
Like they wrote up whatever it was. Like, he was getting like pissy with people on the course because they were asking him questions. And all he said was like, hey, I'm playing with my Pro-Am partners. They pay a bunch of money for this. I'll talk to you afterwards. But they didn't put in the I'll talk to you afterwards part.
Listen, it's a fine line because you speak to a lot of people, guys, you speak to any of the reporters out there. They don't usually have any issue getting something on the from these guys, even on the first tee of a Pro-Am.
Sure, but
so,
maybe
I don't know.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't want to talk. He's like, I will talk to you afterwards. I'm playing with my Pro-Am partners right now. Fuck off.
Colin, to take from Sam Darnold, he's seeing ghosts. Like he's being offended where there's no offense to be taken.
They all, but I do feel, and this happens in media all the time, that once they don't like you, they're never going to write anything positive about you, and that's where they seem to be at with him right now. That they are now looking for things to write about him.
Well, guess what? That's what happens when you triple the fuck down on telling fans and media you don't owe him anything. There are many chances to backtrack it, and he doubles and triples down.
I mean, I'm still on. I don't give a fuck if he talks or not.
I agree, but you don't care about it's like with any sport though. There's like this behind the scenes, like nuanced stuff, like with football that me and Tim will like go on about that you don't care about. I enjoy this stuff. I care about so little in life, but the things I care about a lot. Professional golf is one of the things I care about. And like Wyndham with the locker, this sort of stuff. I like it. It adds pizzazz. It adds some life. It adds pizzazz. That being said, Morikawa, like he wants his cake, like the cake and eat it too shit. Like he just wants it every which way, every single way. It's very, like I said, he falls right into the Meghan Markle comp. It is just thank you. I feel like never mind. I don't want to make that comp. But he just dives headfirst. He dives headfirst into it. He can't help himself. And I'm enjoying it. I enjoy that part of the tour. It happens. And listen, like there are a lot of guys out there who are losers, like who don't win, that should be winning. And the media isn't looking to attack. He gave these guys blood And we can agree, Pat, like we know some of them. I mean, like I wouldn't, people might dispute this claim. Like I wouldn't say we're in the media.
No.
But that being said, if I think I was in like the touring PGA Tour media, I would be how do I say this like nicely? About any sport, like the guys that travel around, they write about the teams. It's like a motley crew of people, and they need this. Like they need this. But he's giving it to them. And it's great when a good player does this. I don't know. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
To backtrack a little bit in the chat, Mark said when he talked about Patty winning the Open, he was talking about Patty Reed. No one calls him Patty Reed, by the way.
Well, if he spelled it
DD,
then yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But I think a Patty Reed.
Yeah. You want to put two T's in there? I would have known who you were talking about. When you talk about Patty and Harrington just wins the U.S. Senior Open, that's who I'm going to assume you're talking about.
Also, I loved how they kept showing the trophy engraver yesterday.
Oh my God. he nullified Cust's curse on Potgieter.
They kept showing it. And I could just see that guy or that lady's like, you guys told me to be here for 4:30.
We'll talk about Michael Kim in a bit because this is the Michael Kim Open, friend of the show, but he was a friend of all, especially Will Gordon's on the weekend, missing that putt on 18 and allowing an extra 48 people into the field, thus securing Will Gordon his tour card.
You know me well enough to know how much I hated what happened there. I don't play in those games. They're still banned by my ridiculous province. I cannot play DraftKings or any of them. Ridiculous, a joke. So I have no rooting interest. Do you know what I root for? I say it all the time. I root for the smallest amount of players to play the weekend as possible. Whatever the cut line is, no, I'm at home cheering for the better score. I hate. I get like you got the games, you got your 6 for 6. If I had a lineup, I'd be the same. But I can't stand when something like that happens and 20 more guys get in on the weekend. I hate it. Good, but hey, Michael Kim's the best. He has fun with it. He knows what he's doing. He's aware and engaged. It's an incredible combo.
Should Michael Kim just be Morikawa's PR agent? Could that be like a side gig for him as he travels around? Because now he's in all the signature events that he's going to see Morikawa all the time. People in the know, Colin might be a little helpless. Like he might be helpless on that front. People have tried to assist. It doesn't work. It does not work. Kim's the best. And the fact that he's in all the signature events, that is so incredible. Maybe there might be some competition, but is he still not like the most improved player of the year or are other guys catching him? No, Ben Griffin or Novak or Michael Kim.
Ben
I think when we do our awards at the end of the year, that's kind of the three.
Yeah, Ben Griffin, I think, is
or JJ Spawn is actually probably the answer.
Yeah, you're right. So there are a lot of guys who leveled up. There's a lot of guys who leveled up this year. For a while, though, it felt like Kim was leveling up with the best of them.
Weirdly, Henley is the one who really leveled up.
But wasn't his world ranking always amazing?
It was.
I know that's a flawed thing.
He actually got through. Because, for example, Mav McNeely is 11th in the FedEx Cup. I think he's 12th in the world rankings. No one thinks he's that good. No one does. Now, I get that Spawn's now number 7 in the world rankings. No one actually thinks he's that good either. But he's had a really good year where Mav's been like, okay.
Yeah, at least I can close my eyes and see how Spawn got there. Mav won in the swing season.
Correct.
So what else did he do to get these points?
He had that second to Ludwig at Torrey Pines.
Elevated Jenny.
Yeah. So he had that. What else did he do? I don't know what the hell he's done. It feels like he just busts every week. He just probably has like a couple just good top 20 streak.
But there's a lot of guys who do that.
But he was third at the Heritage, third at Valero, ninth in Phoenix, fifth at the Memorial. He's actually had some like high-end finishes in signature events, which are worth more points.
Yeah, I don't know. I got like, is there any housekeeping before they cross the pond? Like, who's the best injured golfer? Is it Corey Connors? Is he healthy? Like, what's going on?
Spieth's hurt.
Yeah,
because I think
Spieth's
Spieth
hurt.
would have played. I
Connors
think
hurt.
Spieth would have played this week, but he's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the neck, right? That was neck.
Yeah, a few of them got hurt at Oakmont out of that rough.
Yeah, and Victor hurt the neck at the Travelers. So yeah, you're right. We're probably going to be on a bit of injury watch. But again, look, Thor Bjornsson withdrew a few weeks ago with a wrist injury. I was paranoid, neurotic that maybe his season was over. And like I said, sometimes you just say wrist injury because I feel like it's the WD. Wrist or neck are like the WDs that come with the least questions because everyone around the ancillary people of the sport know, like, if your wrist gets bulky for a minute, you just might want to shut it down because you don't want to ruin your summer.
Correct. And Spieth played through the wrist injury last year and things did not go well. So he's probably taking the time off now to make sure that the neck is fine or it's really bad. One of the two.
Yeah, that sucks. Because he has to mix to make the Ryder Cup. He's just not getting it on vibes.
I agree. Well, it depends on what they want to do because there is a team. I mean, the team sounds terrible that if you take them, but if you take Griffin, Spawn, Keegan, Harris English, and Novak, those guys are playing well.
There's still way too there's still way too many chances for lost confidence from that group for me to.
Sure, but why is their confidence at any part of a low? Like, how does it get lower any point to the rest of the season than what Patrick Cantlay is doing right now, who's almost assuredly on the team?
Well, Patrick Cantlay
he's been.
I don't want to stand for Patrick Cantlay.
But if you're standing for Patrick Cantlay, then put Spieth on the team too, because it's basically the same pick at this point.
Other than the fact that Patrick Cantlay is sort of giving Poulter vibes.
I mean, he did well at the President's Cup.
He's the only guy that like answered the bell, the shit with the hat. Like, he's ready to mix. Like, I agree. I'm just saying he has an equity that no one else in his competing sphere for the spot has.
We talk about Poulter on all these things. When was Poulter really the hinge in them winning in America? Never.
But on that note, there's a conversation to be had because I feel like Keegan is going to, without like the win-loss record of Poulter, he is going to feel important when he plays. Where, like if Keegan plays and gets dummied, that can backfire as much. Like, it's a fine line. Like, Keegan's making the team. He's going to be the playing captain. And everyone's like, oh, like imagine the captain goes and he, wins the big match and the crowd like cheering on the captain. That's great. And if that happens, that's fantastic. But what happens on the fine line that it goes the other way for the playing captain? Like, gets dummied. That will reverberate the other way. So, they're going to walk into that and it's going to go one of two ways probably, or right up the status quo.
Oh, John Deere Classic. There we are. There's the odds coming out. Now, those are a little bit better, I suppose. Denny's not the second favorite on this list that I'm seeing right now. That's excellent news because there's some really strange stuff coming out. Oh, before I get to it, I think I'll talk about this. Did you happen to catch my show with Emerson last week?
In pieces.
It was great.
I'm a big fan of Emerson. He should do more content.
He's back on tomorrow on the show. We're doing our 4th of July cookout rankings, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that, but he's good at content. He should do more. Obviously, over at DK, it was they never really figured out the content. operation, but he is really good.
Yeah, he actually, I think he'd work well with Cust.
They obviously never, I assume they've never spoken, right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. But they have similar vibes, but in the exact opposite ways. Like Emerson hates summertime. Who else hates summertime? Cust. Also, okay, so I got Cust in with my golf coach because Cust just complained. Cust terrible golf now. And like we try to give him like a few, he's asking us for tips. We give him a tip, then he won't listen to us because it's Cust. So he goes and sees my coach. I hook him up to get a lesson. And I guess he went and played yesterday with our other friend, Tim. And he's like, I can really get the club back really far now. Like after this lesson, it's like, it's a godsend. It's like, Cust, we've been telling you for 3 years to get your club farther back and you wouldn't listen to us. He's like, yeah, but Neil told me. And now that Neil's told me, I can do it. So in his head, if we tell him anything, it's impossible. If someone else tells him, no matter who it is, it could be a golf coach, it could be someone on Twitter, it's fact. It's really strange stuff.
That lines up so perfectly with Cust. Like in the sense that, you as your friends could be imploring him with the truth about something. And then, someone with the slightest, even, like all it takes is the slightest expertise or label in the field and Cust will think you are like Nostradamus.
Correct. So now apparently his swing is not fixed, but much better than it's been looking.
Like if something was wrong with Cust's car and one of your buddies like used to be an auto mechanic, used to work at an auto shop, say, Cust, I'm pretty sure that's what's wrong with your car. He would like put you off, be dismissive, and then he'd take it in, talk to the guy at Mr. Lube and be like, you're like this, give him all the credit for diagnosing the car. Yeah. That's it. Cust. This is, that is Cust's playbook to a T. We know that play. Cust runs that play. That being said, I'd love to take a lesson. Just take a lesson.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I can try. I do want to do, I'm still trying to work it out. So the plan would be to bring you out. We do need a fourth for it, but me and Cust versus you and someone, and we'll film it and put it on the channel.
Do you know what Cust just said?
No. What did he just say?
He already said he thinks Aldrich could win at Portrush this morning. Now he says, this sounds like a hot take, but Aldrich breaking through yesterday to me is as big as Rory breaking through at the Masters back in April.
What?
That is in our group chat.
Let me see this. What the fuck does that even mean? I have no words for this. An event that he told me beforehand might as well not even be played because it's such a nothing event. But now the guy who wins it is Rory winning the Masters.
Listen, if you need to help pay for facilitating our golf outing, Pat, you should just charity auction the fourth spot. Someone would pay a lot of money to golf with Tim, you, and myself, I think.
I mean, it happened one time before. Shout out to Greg and Drew.
I'm not trying
they ended up playing that round with us, but to get out here is the tough part.
Right. Just like at someone Powers joked at your Friday night dinner for our cut sweat or for the live show, he joked how like you could make so much money auctioning off Fienberg's dinner seat, the one beside Kenny and Cam.
Oh God. I don't think I need the liability for like someone winning an event and having to go through that.
Well,
we got that coming out later this week too. The Custies preview show with Kenny and Bronstetter.
Oh, love that.
That means we have to film the Custies soon, by the way, which I completely forgot about.
Speaking of Bronstetter last week, he's a gem.
He was very upset he couldn't make the live show.
He's top shelf. He's top shelf. Top shelf liquor.
Well, we're going to talk about the John Deere Classic, the bets, the picks, and one and done right after this. Now, during their 4th of July sale at omahastakes.com, you can get 50% off site-wide, plus my listeners get an extra $45 off with promo code MAYO at checkout. You get yourself ready for grilling season, and I already did. Got my package, so I went onto the site. I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to get. So there is a package that's only a limited time only, and I took the upgrade because I'm already saving the $45. You think they would just send it to me, but I'm using the $45 with code Mayo, so I saved myself an extra $5 on this one. But you get 4 5-ounce bacon wrap filet mignons. You get some jumbo franks, some caramel apple tartlets for dessert, plus some Omaha Steak seasoning, and then the triple trim filet mignons. You get one of those, and 4 boneless pork chops. It's perfect for people who are coming over. Listen, there's weirdos out there who don't love steak. It's really strange to me. They want chicken, they want hot dogs, they want sausages, they want pork, whatever it might be. I know it sounds crazy, but I found these people in my life. So this package is what I had to go with because these people are the ones who are coming over for my kickoff to grilling season. And everything is going to be here in time from omahasteaks.com. That's why you got to use code Mayo. Get fired up for 4th of July with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale and earn an extra $45 off. Use promo code MAYO at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $45 off with promo code MAYO at checkout. See site for details. John Deere Classic picks, bets, one and done. Again, if you're just tuning in right now, good timing tuning in. But give me your winner in the comments section after the show is done with its live, because I won't see it if it's in the live chat. I'll see it after the fact. Then you get into a draw for a free PXG driver given up the day after the Open Championship. Remember to sub to the channel and sub to the podcast and do everything the same over there. 5-star reviews, always going a long way to help us out. Plus, as I mentioned before, I got Emerson back on for a really fun show tomorrow where we talk about 4th of July, cookouts, and just more craziness. If you missed the show from last Thursday, I highly recommend that you check it out. If you're looking for podcasts, that one's evergreen that you just kind of blow through because of the holidays that are coming up. You need to kill some time. The back-to-back Emerson shows are probably where you're going to want to be at. Custy's preview with Kenny and Bronstetter on Thursday, obviously live with Tambo for the John Deere Classic on Monday morning as well. Jeff, what stuck out to you immediately from the John Deere Classic odds? Because there are a few names that make no sense to me. And I think that unless there's a number you really like right now, give it a day and these numbers are going to normalize. We've seen this every single time when the odds look really stupid at the beginning of the week.
So, I mean, this is all relative to who I actually wanted to bet. And then you mentioned some people and I'm like, okay, I think that's even more egregious than the one I thought of. And that being said, we've been doing this over a decade now. We're not going to turn this into complaining about John Deere odds. Like Denny McCarthy was 14-1 last year. My memory is not good enough to go further back, but this is what happens. Like, so let's get over that. I was, well, now I'm seeing some readjustments.
Yeah, since we've started this show and built the graphics, the odds have already gotten better in our favor.
Yeah. But when I woke up this morning, I saw Kevin Yu at 30-1, and I was really hoping to wake up and like hit him at 50-1, which was probably a mistake of me. But now I'm seeing a Kevin Yu 45-1, so I don't even need to make an argument or complain about it.
Perfect. Let's see, where's Kevin Yu? Let's see. Kevin Yu. Don't even see him on this list. Let's see. YU. 45. Yeah, that's the, and he was 33 when I woke up this morning. Goddard being up so high is where we thought he was going to be. So at the top of the board. So it's Griffin, Day, Siwoo, Denny, Poston. Those are sort of like the big five for this term. When you're playing the without markets, it's going to be without those guys. But then you're into like Clanton, Goddard, Sungjae's here, Chris Kirk, Knapp, Davis Thompson, Thor Bjornsson. They're all in this like 30 to 40 range. And maybe sometimes the number is going to get a little bit bigger. Then you have my main man, Pearson Cootie, who is like a favorite in this tournament. Has he been winning every week? I saw Smotherman won for the second time in 3 weeks on the Corn Ferry Tour. Well, what the hell is Pearson Cootie doing to deserve this?
I don't really understand that one. Like, why is Pearson Cootie shorter than Potgieter?
He's on a good run. So Corn Ferry, last 7 tournaments, 25th, 16th, 12th, 2nd, 3rd, 7th. So he's on a good run on Corn Ferry, but still.
But like Pearson Cootie's the same price as Knapp. Like I'm not betting Knapp, but I just don't. I know there's a lot of like projecting and forecasting with a guy like Cootie, but I don't know. I'd bet Thor for 5 points cheaper. I'd bet Clanton. I'd bet Tom. Like I would just the other guys around him would get my money first. I might feel dumb on Sunday, but I actually wouldn't feel dumb because I'm not even considering betting them. And those are the guys that you almost hope win if you're not going to win. Then you don't feel like an idiot about it.
Yeah.
Then
not
there's
like this week.
Potgieter, who seemed obvious. Other people bet him because he was obvious. I did think about it. I did shout it out, but in the end, I wasn't near it. So that's when I feel dumb. Do that a lot.
Yeah, it happens. Listen, when you're not winning bets, everything seems obvious when you don't have the bet. You know what I mean?
Like I was not like Chris Kirk winning. I was nowhere near that.
I agree. I don't think it was anyone on Chris Kirk.
I saw when Tips Checker posted maybe a 36. I actually have no idea what the I don't even know what his pre-tournament number was last week.
Did you happen to see Sky won $100,000 again in consecutive weeks?
This fucking guy. No. I love Sky. That's incredible. I thought he was on vacation. He's on like his motorhome.
Well, he paid for the trip and the motorhome.
But he's gonna level. Next thing we're gonna see Sky in a touring van. It's like, honey, we upgraded. We're now traveling in a tour bus. Way to go, Sky. Honestly, great guy. I'm happy when not that I've ever met him, but he just seems like one of the most beautifully genuine, nicest people around our space. So I'm very happy for him.
I would tend to. I have met him. I agree. Super nice guy. So nice to see back-to-back 100K wins in consecutive weeks. Shout out to you, Skylar.
Wow.
Skyhook DFS. Skyhook DFS on Twitter if you're looking at it. Oh, one other thing. I'm hosting a poker tournament. Our friends at CoolBet are the official providers of the show. If you hit the description, you can get the bonus on it. But next Tuesday, I'm hosting the Pat Mayo Poker Open, which is a qualifier to win a trip to Eastern Europe to play in the finals of the CoolBet Open. I think there's over 250,000 euro in the prize pool. So if you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, go sign up for CoolBet right now and hit the description, find out how to do that and play in this poker tournament. It's going to be very small. So first and second get to the final qualifier. So if you think you're any good at poker, if you have friends that are good at poker, get them into this. They could win not only a pretty expensive trip to Eastern Europe and get put up, but you're in the running to win a whole lot of money in this poker tournament if you actually win it. Were you ever big into the online poker game, Jeff? You don't strike me as someone who would have been.
No, like a little muck in college. Those like the party poker, full tilt days. Me and my roommates trying to collude and 6-person single tables. That was about it.
Fun.
It was too long. I grew impatient.
Yeah.
And then not gonna lie, I'm sitting there playing in a guy, couple bong rips later, all in, going home. But I'm not a poker guy. I don't not my thing.
I played for ages. The first 3-4 years of college, that's what I did for a job. I just go down to the casino, play cash games, win money, and that would be it. We didn't have to work because those cash games were so soft in the early 2000s, but I suck at online poker. So, and I have a bounty on my head for this CoolBet tournament. So if you just want to come take me out, I think you'll get at least your entry paid for. I'll have more details on Wednesday's show about buy-in and everything like that. I don't think it's going to be super expensive. So go sign up. Tell your friends if they enjoy some poker. CoolBet.com. The Pat Mayo Poker Open next Tuesday evening at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And as long as you're in Canada and not in Ontario, you can play.
The second tells, Pat, you know me well enough.
Well, I don't know. You could just be twitching out for no reason. I wouldn't know what
that's
to do.
The thing. And I'll just be I would smile at but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd have the worst tells. I could probably only play online poker. Truth be told.
Do you have any interest in these guys at the top of the board besides Kevin Yu? I know that you like Thorbjornsen. He was second here a year ago to Davis Thompson. Thompson was actually the one that I was going to look at again.
Thorbjornsen, Thompson, you.
Me?
That is sort of I guess maybe a find as good a Ryan Gerard number, but that's what I was looking at.
Okay, Ryan Gerard can't putt. This is becoming a problem. Like it's real bad at this point. So here's what we got. Ryan Gerard keeps making cuts, but he played in the Memorial and the Travelers as well. Past 5 tournaments on the greens for Ryan Gerard. Maybe he's banking them all for this week. -4, -8, -2.2, -3, -7 putting. That's like vintage Luke List territory.
Wow.
And if you're not putting this week, you're not going to win.
Yeah, no, this is this boat race city.
There will even be boats that you will see in the background.
Yeah, I remember someone shot off like
the air horn in Zach Johnson's on 17. I actually like this tournament. I like this course. I like this tournament. And I think that's why I like Detroit as well. And I like the 3M the week after the Open. Like, I don't care. I'm not doing the research shows right now. I look at the numbers for these shows that we're doing. Like, no one cares. Like, I care because I like watching golf and betting on golf. And the hardos are going to stick with us. But you need to be a hardo to really enjoy these tournaments. But it's fun to just kind of chuck them on. The stakes seem a little bit lower. And not having, like, some of the big names around is kind of fun for this little stretch.
Absolutely. The stakes seem lower until they're not, though.
Like how, I mean, we didn't really mention Grazerman. Grazerman went on a run. And one of the reasons that I ended up betting him last week, I ended up pointing it out. I kind of came to this conclusion when looking at his, weirdly, like his player card on the DraftKings show that I did with Tambo live on air. It's like, he's playing pretty well, but he's only playing against all of the best guys. At this point, he only plays majors and signature events. I think the last time he had played a crappy field was Houston, which was 3 months ago at this point. And his numbers are like pretty good. He comes like T25 every week, but just nothing very high. That now that he's back against a bunch of goobers, that maybe he can play well again. Is he someone that, like, we've never brought him once up in any of these Ryder Cup discussions, but he seems like a guy that could go on a run, win something, and be on the team just as much as Novak or Michael Kim or any of those guys.
Yeah, it's
and his game actually, I feel like, translates pretty well to Bethpage. And he's another. He bombs it and he putts.
I don't even know if I'm using this properly, but the door is wide open for any American to have like a white boy summer and just make the Ryder Cup team.
Please explain what you think that means.
I don't even know, but just be awesome. Be cool, be fun, get hot, win tournaments, have some swag. There, then the drum starts beating.
We're attributing cool and swag to white people now. How
I'm just in that, short king, short king summer.
What does that mean?
Google it. It's just a joke. It's a meme.
What is a short king? How short do you need to be a short king?
I don't know. It is
5'6", so I don't qualify as a short king.
I'm not very tall. I'm like 5'9".
5'9" is the average height of people.
What?
Yeah. Jared being 6'9" over here. Yeah. If you're under 6 feet, you're short. Am I a short king? Apparently we're all short kings in Jared's eyes.
I could see why in Jared's eyes we're all short kings, but I don't think we qualify. Like, my 5'9.5" doesn't get me to short.
This
king.
guy is saying anyone under 5'11" is a short king.
That's egregious.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen, if it puts me in the short category that everything on earth is designed for people my height, I'm for it.
Like, unless I was hanging around a basketball team, I have never felt like discernibly short in my life.
No, neither have I.
And I'm not tall. I'm certainly not tall.
Yeah, apparently most people, maybe that's why it's a short king summer now, because most people apparently are short kings.
I guess so. No, the door is wide open for someone to kick it down and earn a spot.
So, like Brian Harmon, short king summer is what you're saying?
Yeah, that was a short king summer. That certainly was. Shit. As for this event, I feel like I bet Alex Smalley last year at like 28-1 here. Something stupid.
Alex Smalley missed the cut here last year. He also missed the cut last week. I know that because he was a linchpin on me winning money on DraftKings last week. Didn't win any money, mainly because of Alex Smalley. So I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names. I haven't made the bets yet, but these are the names that I wanted to run by you because I'm not betting Denny at 28-1. I do like Denny, but that seems, I get why he is that number. but I don't think you'd ever catch me betting Denny at below like 80 to 1, regardless of what the tournament was.
Is he playing well?
He's playing okay.
Yeah, I just I'm not gonna get there. I'd rather go back to the well with Davis Thompson. Like
I would too, but and you can
Denny McCarthy.
You can bet Denny South African version, maybe Seabez at 80 to 1 is inspired by Potgieter, and he'll go out and win finally. You got kids yelling in the background, Jeff?
Oh, you hear that?
I do.
Yeah, listen, school's over. Camp starts tomorrow.
Camp starts on Canada Day?
One here. And my oldest is gone. She's gone for a month. Woo! Yeah.
More golf for you.
Yes and no. The thing is, she's the self-sufficient one.
True.
So it's like she's not the reason I'm not golfing when I'm not golfing. It's more like, the children under 5.
Saw your wife's burner account on Twitter.
Oh, you saw that. Hey, that got a lot of,
It was funny.
My wife with a zinger. Yeah, check that one out. But as I said, I played at my home course on the weekend. It was the first time playing the 18th hole where it was no longer Tommy Fleetwood's most pathetic performance on an 18th hole in an attempt to win a golf tournament. So we got that going. We got that going for us. What about Nico? Am I just flying up the board here?
That is the first name on my list. So here's the 6 that I wanted to go with. And you give me your thoughts on these guys. Nico, I'm betting Michael Kim 100%. He has good vibes for what he did for the field last week. We're back to the spot of his one career win. He's having a great year. Let's just get it all together with Michael Kim this week. Friend of the show. Get him into the Open Championship. Davis Thompson, Lee Hodges, Matt McCarty, and old Wacky Valimaki were the 6 that I had pointed out.
I don't mind that.
Is there someone that I didn't say? You obviously like Kevin Yu, Ryan Gerard.
That's a little shorter though. That's if I'm making like under the 50s, that would be who I like. So Nico, obviously one of them. I'm trying to find his odds.
Ooh, Nico's 50.
No, going a little further, and I don't want to be like Tim Anderson here. Being like, watch this guy play. Now I think he's gonna win. Maybe when I say it, like, God forbid he's just one and done. But Jackson Suber, 125.
Okay, so I mean, Suber had one good event. That was his first good event since the Sony Open earlier this year. The one that really caught my eye, and I was very surprised. And maybe I see Wacky's. I didn't even look at the odds on the guys that I just talked about. They were just the 6 that, in my mind, I saw they were in the field. Let's
Wacky's
go bet
110,
them.
what I'm seeing.
Oh, is he? I'd probably want to play him with the places. Saku Koivu is 90 to 1. Isn't this guy supposed to be awesome?
Koivu?
Yeah, Jackson Koivu. 90 to 1.
So, I mean, I don't know enough to make an assessment there. 90 to 1.
Then we were blindly betting Thorbjornsen at this tournament last year, and he almost won. And I'm pretty sure this guy was better than Thorbjornsen.
I mean, I'll make my card, and then if I see that Sky is betting this Koivu on Wednesday when he posts a card, I'll just add this guy. But I don't like, if someone I would have to see the the friends of ours who are far more in tune with who these guys are. If they're not betting them, how can I bet them?
I believe he's still an amateur at this point. Do you know who Cust one and done is?
Ben Griffin?
Clanton.
Okay, sure. So I don't know if this is the right betting strategy, but we do this enough so we have this inventory of odds and numbers in our heads from previous weeks. And obviously someone like Thorbjornsen bet at 100 to 1 last week. Now, if I want to bet him, he'd be 35-40. You can obviously find your guys like that. But is there value in the guys whose numbers, they're the same player that we wanted to bet a week ago, but their numbers are what are still at those big numbers? I maybe used a lot of words, but just Hitsune, 80 last week. He's still at 80. Lee Hodges, as you mentioned, his number didn't crash at all. Steven Yeager, those misses left remain. Sadly, every time he's on TV, it's just like a 4 left. But I don't know, Thorbjorn, Olesen. I'm just like, just remembering last week's board. Sometimes you feel like, because there are a lot of guys whose numbers have just been absolutely demolished from one week to the next, in one loser field to the next. Last week had 2 guys who didn't win at the top, Morikawa and Cantley.
If I was to ask you the past 4 winners of this event, would you be able to tell me their pre-tournament odds of the year that they won? We'll start with last year. Davis Thompson won last year. Do you remember what his pre-tournament odds were?
50.
20.
Whoo!
Seb Straka the year before, who put on that Sunday charge and no one could beat him. Do you remember what his were?
I'm just going to guess 50 again.
It is. 50 is actually the right answer to that one.
Okay, yeah.
JT Poston won in 2022.
33.
40.
Okay.
Lucas Glover, 2021.
I don't know that to 50.
It is 50. So that's sort of been the range here. And I'm looking a bit beyond that. I guess it depends on where you get the number. Like I'm looking at one spot where Nico is 50-1. I'm looking at Coolbet and he's 60-1. So, I'll take the 60-1 on it. But I think that a lot of those odds, like when we historically go and look at them, tend to be like the closing odds for someone. Like even we do like the golf tipper checker guy.
Closers.
It's the closing odds. Like when you see that, like especially for like the U.S. Open when everyone was betting Straka, it's like Straka's 28-1. So I don't think anyone actually bet him at 28-1.
Yeah.
Everyone bet him at 80 or 60, and then he ended up down there because so many people ended up betting him. But if we look at that range of player, that is the Gerard, Bud Colley, Steven Yager, Michael Kim, Luke Clanton, who's again Cust one and done. Olesen, who you mentioned, Mark Hubbard coming off a good week, Keith Mitchell, Glover, Kevin Yu. Like that's that range of guy. That range does make the most sense in my mind.
Yeah. That is the range I feel like I will get sucked into. And it's like these players.
How about someone like Griot, who everyone loved and he had a terrible weekend last weekend. Now no one wants him. He was 65-1.
I'll be looking at that. I was sort of afraid he would pop last week because I just didn't like him for the course fit at the Ball Speed Open. I think you made that joke. I think Dot even made that joke in the broadcast yesterday.
Just watching the show. She knows.
Yeah. Like, what about your boy? Were you on Hoey last? No.
Been off Hoey for a while.
Yeah.
Chad in the chat says Denny has made all the cuts this year. That's great. Congratulations. Bet him to make the cut then at -170.
Yeah, I don't know how to quantify that in terms of the win. Obviously, if Denny wins this week, it would feel like, okay, finally it made sense. I'm guilty. Like, hand up, guilty as charged. I get cocky a lot, try to call a guy's win. I'm just like, Denny McCarthy is just not the guy for me. He's other people's guy, but he's not the guy that I want to do that with.
Honestly, the best odds on these board for level of player that they are is Sung Jae at 35-1.
Okay. Sung Jae's Willie Wilcox played. I had some friends who played with Willie at my club on the weekend when Sung Jae missed the cut in Canada. And
he has not gained strokes on approach since Honda.
It's a tough one. It felt like where was he playing well for a few moments recently?
The US Open. He was like almost the first round leader. Then he made like a double. He came 57th.
Yeah. He doesn't do well in any sort of like adverse conditions, right? Isn't that the word on him?
He doesn't do well anywhere anymore. He came 5th at the Masters because he chipped in like 8 times.
Yeah.
What was Willie saying? What was the inside info that you got? Because someone asked me about Novak, because Novak said he was going to play here. Novak's dealing with a pec injury right now.
Just said not a ton of info other than Sung Jae spent his whole life only hitting off of mats. And it is still like he's still having issues like working the ball.
Interesting.
Like in Korea, all he ever did growing up was hit off mats his whole life. So
He would
apparently
love-
when the conditions are windy or things get a little like the conditions get to a different level, he just he's not that great at adapting. I think that's been proven in the stats, but again, he's not been playing well anywhere. So it's almost hard to discern what the biggest problem is there.
He would play well at the Northwest Territories Open, where the conditions are so bad most of the time that they give you a mat to bring with you. So you hit the ball to wherever you hit it, clear out some like snow or like dirt.
I love that.
And then you
That
put the
is
mat
so
down and then you
funny.
hit off the mat.
That is, I guess in some places of the world, like, you have to place the ball on the mat to hit every shot. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. Like I could
Nico,
just
Kim, DT, Hodges, McCarty. I'm going with those 5. Maybe I'll leave Wacky Valimaki out of it, but he putts enough.
Matt McCarty.
Matt McCarty, yeah.
He's been like sneaky consistent.
He's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he's 90-1. He seems better. I mean, he has a win already this year. He was 4th at the Canadian Open. He was 19th. He gained 8 strokes putting last week, 7.2 the week before. His numbers line up like a lot like Graysmer. He's terrible off the tee, but you can be terrible off the tee here. That's fine. It's like one of the easiest driving courses on tour for anyone.
Well, the joke on the weekend, the guy winning, the guy in the lead on Sunday, Dottie will be letting you know, I hope he brought his passport. I remember they were doing that to Patrick Rogers, and then Bryson got him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This was Bryson's first win, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Skinny Bryson with the Dom DeLuise hat.
Yeah, big Patrick Rogers heartbreak here.
Does Patrick Rogers even play golf anymore?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he's
He
in this
does.
tournament, actually.
He has 100-1.
Seems high. His last top 10 was at the Genesis.
Pathetic thing.
What? Who are you going to bet?
Just like run back almost my same card from last week.
Listen, if you liked them last week, there's no... And I had a bunch of guys near the top. Everyone outside of Wyndham Clark.
And I know there's a debate to be had about it and what feels right and what doesn't. And I think I'm not going to be alone in betting potentially like Thor Bjornsson out of straight FOMO. That being said, yes, he was like 80, 100 last week. But I feel like in betting him last week, I was like, that number is wrong. And we joked for a couple months that we're getting to Detroit and he's going to be 30, 40-1. They didn't. And now that he's 30, 40-1 at John Deere, I don't think that's that wrong. Even though it is probably going to get like the cockiness in me might be the reason I make the bet other than thinking this is right. So that's the war in my head right now.
Well, we're not picking winners anyway, so change it up. Do what you got to do.
Well, I don't think that's changing up. That's just me like sticking with something when I should change it up. I am envious of the people, our listeners, our friends, people in the community who like can literally flip a switch from one tournament to the next, almost like it's an episode of The Simpsons. And by that, I mean, Marge breaks her leg on Sunday, 6 to 8 week injury, smash the car up. You tune in next week. There's no broken leg. There's no damaged car. It's just a new episode, a new story. I'm envious of our friends who bet, who can do that. In football, I like to think I can do that. In golf, I can't.
I'm with you, actually, because that does happen to me in golf as well. There is one name that we haven't really talked about that maybe we should because he's been okay lately, but Jason Day is here.
Yeah, I feel like we'll feel really silly Sunday when it's just about like these top 7 guys on the leaderboard and we did on the odds board, and we really didn't talk about any of them.
Well, listen, if Ben Griffin wants to go out and win at 16-1, good on him. That's not getting my money. Siwoo is not playing well, and he's 28-1. Denny, I'm just not betting at 28-1. Poston, maybe give me a little bit of a bigger number. Maybe I can get there. And then Day, what is it, 22? I'm seeing a 22. I'm seeing a 27. 27 on Day, I could see doing.
Poston of that whole group, maybe because his number's the biggest one, would be my pick. Also in solidarity with our boy Tom and Marty's. And yeah, if I had to pick from like the top 5, I'd be taking JT.
I think I would take Day. He's just the better player of all those guys.
Malbon could do the craziest thing at John Deere and get away with it.
Okay.
Like in a way, like, you know, the Masters or the majors, there's a bit of like uppityness about what he's wearing. Like I'm pro Malbon, but I don't like when they go crazy at Augusta. Like I see it that way. But like at the John Deere, they could send him up in a mankini and it would play.
Got any more to that?
No, I don't really have a ton here. It is it's the Deer. I hope to have a bet. I'm watching if I have a bet. I'll be outdoors if I don't.
I only have 2 bets in so far. I guess we should get to that. So the quick bet picks and the one and done. I'm going to wait for this board to mature just a little bit before I get too crazy, but I bet Hodges at 80-1 and Matt McCarty at 90-1 and Nico at 60-1. Then I'll figure out what I want to do at the top. Like I said, I'm going to bet Michael Kim at 50 or 55, whatever it is right now. So I'll throw Michael Kim out of that 4. So those 4, then I'm swimming around Valimaki, Davis Thompson. I may have just talked myself into Jason Day if that number sticks at 27-1. And then you got like Gerard, Glover, like that level of guy that it'll probably be 2 of those guys. And then I'll be done for the week.
Yeah. I could roll like Thorbjornsen, Thompson. I think you're right. I got to let this marinate because, like you said, when we clicked on Kevin Yu, the best I saw was 33. Now I'm seeing 45. So maybe that's a sign to like hit that, or maybe I should just watch everything sort of develop here. This is also the sort of event, Pat, where I think you'll find a tremendous lack of consistency from book to book.
Agreed.
A lot of these guys, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like it's not like the major. It's a lot of like copy and paste. Yes, there's copy and paste here, but yeah, that's about it. So Thorbjornsen, Davey T, Jackson Suber. Oh, that's embarrassing. I might head Setsune. Yeah, that's where my head is at. Kevin Yu. That's what I'm swimming around.
All right, well, let's do some one and done. Cust pick Clanton as his one and done to piggyback off what you did last week. I guess I'll take. Have I used Nico yet? I have used Nico. I used Nico a few weeks ago when he was terrible. I'll use Lee Hodges. Lee Hodges is priming to win again at the 3M, and it might have been Chad Ramey who won the 3M and not Lee Hodges, but I'll effort that. Will you make a one and done pick?
I'm just brought up our friend's grid.
Lee Hodges did win 2 years ago in Minnesota.
Just making sure I haven't used the guy. Not that I think I would. Why not? Davis Thompson.
DT.
I've used Ben Griffin, so.
I guess I haven't used Ben Griffin. Maybe I should have just used Ben Griffin.
You're like, where else?
Nowhere.
We're running out of the season. It's kind of over.
We got Scottish, British.
Yeah, that's it. Because out of Scottish, British, then it is
3M
Wyndham. 3M Wyndham.
I like the Wyndham.
Yes. I like the Wyndham too. And the FedEx Cup, after that first event, I guess this year it's not starting strokes, right? They changed it.
Is that true?
I think it's true because I saw an ad on Golf Channel and Scotty was like making fun of himself. It's like, I lost my head start, but it was in fun. And they were trying to sell it as being like important. But the FedEx Cup is horrible. I hate the FedEx. I feel about the FedEx Cup almost how I feel about Live. But I don't know what the PGA Tour, like, I don't have an idea for them either. So I'll just shut up.
Yeah, that's the difficult part is when it's very clearly not going to matter as much as 4 separate tournaments or even 5 separate tournaments throughout the year. What do? Give someone $1 billion to win? I don't think that people would care.
Yeah, no, I mean, the problem is it's the simplest answer, but we understand the logistics. Like, the simplest answer is match play. But the problem is, God forbid, the Final Four is not what it wants to be. And then it is the worst case scenario for the tour, I think. Even though like Hardos would enjoy an incredible match play journey, they, you don't have, like, even as a Hardo, you understand why it's not ideal. I don't understand why they can't take 1 week out of their freaking circus schedule and give it to us. I am smart enough to figure out why they don't want to finish that way. But it doesn't make the other part of it acceptable.
Should they do a skills competition? Should there be like a long drive contest, a putting competition to spice it up a bit?
I don't know. I don't even know. Like, no, they shouldn't do that. I think we would complain so much harder about that than starting strokes.
Yeah, but most people just want to be on here to complain anyway. That's all they want. They don't actually seem to care about the golf. They just want to complain about the golf.
No, because starting strokes is objectively stupid, but I just don't. I respect, like, I have sympathy for the conundrum.
I didn't have a problem when, if you won the Tour Championship, you didn't automatically win the FedEx Cup. Remember when Tiger won, but Justin Rose, I think, won the FedEx Cup?
Yes. And that was essentially, I've always felt there's always like breaking points in sports. Like, there's rules and we live with them. But say when the Yankees get screwed by a rule that we've kind of debated forever, then it gets put into super drive. Like, when something happens to like a blue blood, then we get super drive. Tiger winning and then but not winning everything confused people. And I guess the tour felt they needed to change. I have long done this argument that I've never understood why they've changed, because I don't understand why golf thinks its fans are dumber than NASCAR fans. Because NASCAR has a playoff. It's kind of like golf. Every race is its own one-off, right? Like, how do you like not reward the guy who won like 6 races and now we're having a championship race? But their fans are smart enough to realize we have 2 separate leaderboards for our final race: the overall season chase and the specific event. Golf thinks we're too stupid to handle that.
It's not that they think that we're too stupid. And you kind of hit the nail on the head. Tiger ruined this and got it to get changed because so many random people tuned into Tiger because he won that tournament and they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, they saw they saw 2 leaderboards and they're like, I don't get it. Why is Justin Rose get a trophy? It's pretty simple. It is a pretty simple concept for also the broadcast to lead people through. It's not complicated, especially golf fans. Like, I'm an idiot, but most people who like thoroughly enjoy golf, represent the commercials they show in golf. They are smarter, brighter, higher earning, educated people with pretty good jobs.
That doesn't necessarily, as someone who has worked with a lot of these people, that is not a 1v1 to intelligence.
Okay, that is fine, but NASCAR can do it.
I guess
I think if we took a
But NASCAR is so weird because its biggest race is its first race.
Yes.
And they don't have like golf has the playoffs. They have 4 majors. Those are the championships. Like that's always going to be the biggest struggle with all of this, is that no matter what you do, at best, it's the 6th most important thing you can win in golf during a year.
And we'd probably still agree that like winning Memorial and getting Jack's handshake might not come with the money, but it's a more prestigious thing.
I would agree. I would say that Bay Hill Memorial and Genesis probably all are.
We can acknowledge that. And like I said, the FedEx Cup just feels like live by the end of it. It's like just guys playing for insane amounts of money in an event that doesn't even mean anything or matter. Period.
It's funny that Liv decided like, hey, we're going to start our own league. You know that awesome tour championship the PGA has? Let's replicate that.
I've been saying that for years. It's like Liv took a model that was a proven failure that had how many years has the FedEx Cup existed? It has not punctured the sporting landscape in America, like let alone in the world, America. It does not penetrate the sporting conversation in America, even. Not to say like America's like the preeminent place for sport, but like obviously it's not going to work around the world if it didn't even work in the place where the league is out of. Crazy. So did you see Bryson on stage on Saturday?
I can't tell you I did. No.
Oh my God, you gotta watch this. Whatever the concert was, he like hyped it. He introduced it. He was so fired up. I was saying the only thing that clip was missing was him like announcing his 4-year live extension.
He did a lot of work for this Dallas tournament. It seemed like it had really good turnout as well, but he was like the driving force around it.
Okay, I'm finally like the idiot 2 days later is putting it together. Okay, yeah, Dallas, him. Right, makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering, like he's like he's playing horribly, and he's like the face of the event, and I obviously didn't connect it till now, and now it makes total sense. Thank you.
Yeah, he was on all the like he spent the week previous to that, like after he had missed the cut at the U.S. Open, he went back to Dallas to continue to promote this event. I think this was a big deal for him.
Yeah, because in the clip that like kind of went, semi-golf viral, he was just like so appreciative to the people in Dallas, and that didn't hit me. Okay, yeah. Lovely chap, that Bryson. It was a good week for the Crushers. They won the team title, I believe.
Yeah, third week in a row, they won. Bryson, I still can't get a gauge on him. Like I said, the less you see of him, the better it is for him.
Adds up. That adds up, yeah.
Yeah, and when if you want to see a lot of Bryson, you can, but it's all in a controlled environment that he controls. So obviously he's not going to make himself look like a fucking weirdo on his YouTube videos. But if he was just playing at the Rocket Mortgage, and imagine if they were giving him shit like they give Morikawa shit right now, he just lose his mind because he used to do that.
Yes. A lot of people deserve shit. A lot of guys get shit. I know I'm like being repetitive, but no one was dumb enough to say what Morikawa said and triple down on it. And that's like the only reason we're here.
Just telling you how he feels. But it's so weird, this like erasure of in our minds about what Bryson was like before he left for Live. And all you had to do was just get away. And people see you're like, hey, that's a lot of fun. And then I have to see you for a month, and I'll see you again. And then in another month, I'll see you. And then in another month, I'll see you. Then I won't see you for 8 months. But by that time, I've recharged. Be like, hey, this is fun again.
It's like, we've all got that friend or that like relative or sibling who doesn't like, we were all that person. Like we didn't have kids. I didn't mind being around my sister's kids. But, when I was after a couple hours, it's like, okay, bye. I'm leaving. See you in 2 weeks. Not my problem. Right. But it was enjoyable. But when being able to just get up and leave the scene was also enjoyable.
Can I hit you? Everyone out there, if you go to my X at the PME right now, the pin tweet is this live video. If you could reshare that for me, that would be incredibly helpful. We got some breaking news out of the NFL, Jeffrey.
Okay.
The Steelers traded 3-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to, you want to guess?
Back to the Dolphins.
Back to the Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey.
What a guess! Wow!
Is Minkah Fitzpatrick? I thought he was.
I never understood why they traded him all those years ago, because they always needed him. Like, Dolphins needed a corner this whole time. Good trade for Miami.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear. I mean, the Steelers are just piling up all of the players Cust hates. He hates Jalen Ramsey. He now hates Aaron Rodgers. This is perfect.
I really don't understand why Pittsburgh wants this. I don't know the contractual obligations of it, but do not forget how dumb the Miami Dolphins are. They paid Jalen Ramsey more money per year than Surtain got last offseason. They redid the deal and gave him a bit more, I believe. And they already paid this deal. So, yeah, I mean, they got the better player. Good for them. Okay, interesting.
Cust doesn't understand this. That was his immediate response.
I think that would be a lot of how hot is Tomlin's seat this year? Like, if you had to rank, and maybe we should do this for a show, like rank coaches' hot seats.
Hot seats?
Yeah.
The heated seat?
Yeah, the heated seat.
Yeah,
sometimes my fat thigh might hit like the heated seat button in the summer, and I don't notice till it's late.
By the way, that is one of the moves that I've been doing on my way to the golf course, even in the summer.
Good call. Yeah.
I turn on the heated seat for like 20 minutes on my way there, and I get out, like my hips aren't stiff anymore. Like I'm kind of warmed up.
Might try that. Yeah.
It's a move. You have to deal, like you need to crank the AC too, because it gets kind of hot, but you get out, and you do feel like a little bit limber. It's like, ooh, here we go. My back's not sore.
On that note, I'm sorry, but I golfed with Pizzola last week, and he took a picture of me and someone else, and the comments about me having a knee brace.
You blew out your knee. Like you blew out your knee like 2 years ago.
I literally ruptured, like a full rupture of my patella. My knee will never feel the same. I will never be fully recovered.
But people don't know that. People don't know that unless they know that about you. Of course, they wouldn't. They would be like, "Look at this loser with a blown out knee. What's going on with him?" I get it.
Like, I'll need this knee brace so much for my life that I'm literally considering paying like insane amount of money for something that is like very custom, because I feel like if it's actually going to be part of my existence for like golfing, then maybe it's worth it instead of something off the shelf that is, it's a size range, like our shirts, yeah. And you've been there with me, Pat, where I'm just like, no, I'll take a penalty. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Someone without a leg injury would go into that and hit that ball. I'm taking the penalty. I'm not going there. I do not care. We're not playing for enough. I do not care about that stroke. I'm not entering that area.
Did you see maybe I'll talk about this with Emerson more on tomorrow's show, but Malik Beasley under investigation for gambling on his games?
I did see that. And then I saw some NBA like gambling hardos that had like these memory moments of like insane Beasley line movements that made no sense in the moment, and they've gone and dug them up. Yeah, this is only the beginning. That being said, I don't know the NBA a ton. If I had to power rank NBA players that I did know about, because I I was more into the league around when he was drafted, K-State, he'd have been like on a podium finish for guys that I think would get charged or would have this issue.
So here's the fun thing. Michael Beasley and Malik Beasley, not the same person.
Oh, I mixed them up?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're
Michael
right.
Beasley was like the number 2 overall pick in a giant head case.
Yeah, and I don't even know that he's in the league anymore. You're right. See, that's how little ball. That's how little ball.
I believe
I do not know ball. Guilty.
He's the MVP of the big three. He last played in China for the Shanghai Sharks.
Oh my God, that's an egregious. That's a bad mess. There's like mixing things up, and then there's what I just did. Okay, well, I apologize to Michael. Malik, you're probably fucked. Sorry, bud. Is he good? It's like a good player.
He's like a free agent right now. I think that the Pistons were going to re-sign him for, a couple, probably like 30, 40 million bucks or something like that. But
yeah, you get like $12 million for being the 9th, 8th guy in the NBA. It's a pretty awesome gig.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to change with this apron stuff now, as I've started to see some of these contracts that have been signed.
The worst part of summer is NBA free agency and then NFL players freaking out on the internet. Like good NFL players.
Oh, there's more to this trade, by the way.
Let's go.
The Dolphins and Steelers have made another trade.
What?
The Dolphins are trading Jonnu Smith to the Steelers for a late round pick swap. Smith will get a 1-year guaranteed contract extension for $12 million.
He wanted big money, I've been hearing, and I wish the Chargers were in on Jonnu Smith. Imagine looking at the Chargers depth chart at the end of last season at tight end and then doing nothing at tight end. And I don't know if Paul's there, but like Paul knows, he'll whisper sweet nothing to me around draft season and tight ends. He knows I've been yearning for years. Like, I die to get Hunter Henry back, and he's not even good. I think we signed Conklin, the Jet, but is that an upgrade on anything? No. Still the worst tight end room in the league. Sorry. Haven't ranted ball in a while.
We haven't talked football. Maybe we should probably. We'll get to that after America Day. It's a big weekend of holidays here. That's why that announcement that I have is not coming right now.
Oh, okay.
Because
it is a big week.
My lawyers have to look at things, but it's Canadian holiday tomorrow. Then America Day is later on this week, so people are taking the week off basically. So it's tough.
Yeah, no, you double. Yeah, you don't want to. It's good to just wait a little on the announcement.
Yeah, well, I
don't even know what it is.
I need to get the announcement actually I would tell you what it is, but it needs to be official first. It can't be official until the contracts are signed, and I will not sign a contract. My lawyer does not. Quick tip for anyone out there: never sign anything unless a lawyer reviews it first. Trust me on this. I remember working at a place where they were starting a company. I believe they signed 78 people. They spent more time doing my contract than they did the other 77 people combined because I was the only person that brought my contract to a lawyer. They looked at it and were like, do not sign this. You are fucked if you sign this. But everyone else just got a thing put in front of them. They signed it and were like, hey, this is great. And they all got fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most people at that sort of level don't really have the ability to speak to a lawyer. So
that is not true.
Well, I don't know the specifics of what we're talking about. So now I'm projecting something.
But if you are going to sign,
yes, it's always good to have lawyers.
Because I've done it. I've just signed something that's been put in front of me and got fucked after doing it. And so when I got together with my now wife, who is a lawyer, she's like, yeah, don't sign anything without running it by a lawyer. I was like, I don't want to have to pay the $700 or whatever it is. I don't make that much money. She's like, trust me, it is worth it.
And my wife yells at me because I don't sometimes like to read things.
Can I get an audiobook of this contract? Can I get it in podcast form?
Yeah, can I get this in podcast form? Or I've pretty much just signed things from people I very, very trusted. But you shouldn't take that into the regular world. Read first.
Yeah. I mean, I hate reading contracts too. That's why I pay other people to do it. Yeah. Because I can't get through it. I don't know how my wife got through law school. I read 2 sentences and I'm like, oh, kill me.
reading's I'm not lying. I'll like have this great article like out of the Athletic. I'll copy paste the whole thing, dump it into this like read to me app, and I'll just like as I'm on a dog walk or something, let it read to me.
It's funny you mentioned that because I guess AI would probably facilitate this more now. But when I was with FTN, that was my major pitch to them. I was like, not only should you have articles, but we should have someone read all of these articles, and we put in the voice at the top that, hey, we pay someone whatever an hour to just go through each of the articles that we have, and then you read them and you go through it, and then that at the top you have the option to either listen to someone read the article to you, or you can read it yourself.
I mean, I'm pro this. Yeah, but it's a I don't know. Reading's bad. I want my kids to read.
It's tough to get them to read though, especially with them tablets that they're always on.
Yeah, but sometimes you try to force the read. You never see that tablet again. Unless you do the 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have the timer. We have the 25-minute timer per day.
Exactly.
They get to choose when they want to use it. After that, it don't work no more.
Yep. There it is.
All right, we've been going on too long. Remember to rate and review to get into that driver draw. Give me your winner down in the comment section. Retweet this on Twitter. Cool bet for that poker open next Tuesday. More details will be down in the description and then in the newsletter later on. Jeff, you got circles back tomorrow? Or is it holiday?
No, I'm gonna pump that out later today.
Question: at the Hammer, like I know you and I know Rob. Why does it seem like everyone else is just some version of the same person?
Well, because like they're very
like they look the same. They all like have like the same takes, and they're not like super hot.
No, but yeah, they're like professional sportsbook simps. You know, with like they don't care if you get banned because they have this whole like infrastructure of beards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean a lot of people talk about being winning gamblers and being a part of a syndicate. I don't believe any of them. I believe they're all just fucking losing money.
That's true, but I would say a lot of those guys over there, they bet in ways like I can't even fathom.
Sure. But if they're so good at it, why are they doing content? You ever think about that?
They also like to hear the sound of their own voice.
That I understand. That I can.
They like. I agree. If you're making so much money, you shouldn't. But there's also, you know, and a lot of those guys. I'll even take a shot at like Pizzola. He's bright and he likes to talk to you and tell you how bright he is.
I mean, listen, I love having Pizzola on the show as well. And I don't think that doing content and winning at betting are mutually exclusive. I think you can do both. But if you want to proclaim to be like the world's greatest gambler and this is all you do is win, I don't understand why you would do content when you could just win at gambling all the time, apparently.
I agree. I don't believe Pizzola's ever said he's the world's greatest gambler and all he does is win. He
wasn't the one I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, that person, yeah. I don't know. Rob's trying to walk a fine line about making things people want to actually watch and that are entertaining, and then things that like actually affect gambling content, which is hard because gambling content's pretty fucking boring.
Yeah, well, Paul has mentioned it is because of the tax implications of being a professional, for Canadians being a professional bettor, and then also having another income coming in. Yes, there is something to that. But if you won so much at gambling, you wouldn't actually have to work a real job. You could pay someone to pay you at that point. If you were so fucking good at it, making millions a year.
If you were so good at gambling, I do believe if you're so good at gambling, there's no way you're selling picks. That like just seems like obvious.
Yeah.
Like you're not sharing your edge. You're not giving people a roadmap into your picks. You are just winning anonymously. And you're like Whale Capper. Every time you see him, he's like on an island somewhere. That's it.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Because I meet a bunch of people who, like at the golf club, some of these older dudes, and they find out what I do. They're like, oh, so you win a lot gambling? It's like, no, I lose, actually.
Yeah.
I lose at gambling.
It's still hard to explain like what you do.
Yes.
Like, cause in the gambling, it's like, oh, give me a pick. I'm like, no, it's not like, yes, I give picks, but like, that's not.
It's like, no, you don't actually want my picks.
Yeah, I'm not making money from my picks. In fact, I wish I didn't have integrity and was smart enough to just say picks and not bet them. But I think anyone who watches us know we are actually betting
Yeah.
our picks. It's pretty obvious.
Gives me incentive to watch. Like you said, there have been no reason for me to like be hooked on the final round of the Rocket Classic if I had not had money on Greaserman.
That being said, my parents, my dad didn't give a shit, but come the 16th hole, he's locked in through the rest of the day. If that makes any sense. It's not an event he'd care about. But once you turn that TV on, you see the leaderboard, you don't even have to know who the guys are. You're just like, this is it. I'm in.
Well, this is actually a topic for tomorrow. We'll get into it, but maybe I'll throw it out to you, and maybe you, Cust, and I can talk about it at a later date. But someone had proposed that, let's say 40 years from now, how popular is sports?
I'll tell you this right now. Way less popular if they're making you sub to 8 different things to watch sports. Sports just used to be there. Maybe I was naive enough and my dad had a good cable package, but I was old. Sports was just on. The Leafs played on Global when I was a kid. The Blue Jays were on CBC. Sports was so accessible. Maybe not to the amount it is now, but to even take in your home team, you have to go through hoops that I think will have a long-term negative impact on sports. Because you have to capture the heart and mind of the 6, 7, 8-year-old boy. You have to. It is the lifeblood. Girl too. All of it. And they are, I'm telling you, they are chomping off their feet in this new world of sports and content delivery.
I just don't think that, obviously some younger people care. Most younger people just don't care. They don't care about sports. They're not getting laid. They're not drinking. I don't know what they're doing just besides being real sad all the time. But if that's going to be the case, only football is going to be sticking around.
Yeah. Football's, even though they dance with streamers, they're smart enough to know I don't like that they still have to be on that network TV.
They do, and I frankly think that there is a point of, I wouldn't say it's a point of no return, but at least a breaking point for the NFL that they are spreading, it's starting to feel like too much of a cash grab with these one-off games, and everyone's there for it right now. Is everyone going to be there for the Black Friday game and the Brazil game in 6 years? I don't know, because part of the fun was, here's when football's on, it's only my 1 day a week, and hey, here's some special games I can choose to tune in or not. But if you're going to go to 5 days a week and you have to watch all these games, eventually people are just going to stop watching and paying attention.
Yeah. And if I've got to, sub to this, sub to that, it is absurd. There have been some great articles on it right now, what it actually costs to be a sports fan right now.
A lot less here in Canada than it does in the States.
Yeah. And that might change sooner than later, but we're pretty lucky here in how it is delivered to us for the moment. It's true. We can't complain here yet.
That will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Check Geoff out tomorrow on Circles Back. Hopefully I gave you guys some fodder that you guys can talk about. But other than that, I'll be back on Tuesday with Emerson, Wednesday with Tambo, Thursday with Kenny and Bronstetter for a preview of the Custody. So we got a bunch of at least 2 evergreen shows you can take with you all weekend long if you're looking to get away from your family over the holiday weekend. Just remember to be safe, smash the like, and I shall see you next time.